This is important. It's important for me and not for any of you.
Is it the title of the show?
Nope. Now we're going to do it. In 5, 4, 3.
You're listening to the Converted Podcast, the podcast about the Guild Convert to Raid on Airy Peak, US.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 147 of the Converted Podcast, the World of Warcraft podcast all about the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak, US. Today is March 25th, 2019. It's just about 6:22 p.m. Airy Peak local time. Thank you very much for joining us. Sal, what do we got this episode?
In this episode, we have what you should have already done in patch 8.1.5. Your converted shoutouts. Eshelon and Turarts are here with Guild Haps, and DravenDresden is with us again.
That's right, everybody. I am Barfolomew the Paladin. Joining us tonight is our very special guest, Mr. DravenDresden. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. It's been a hectic week this week, that's for sure, though.
I can't wait to hear all about it. Before we get into that, I'm going to say hi to T. What's going on, Turarts the Hunter?
Not much. I am doing wonderful. Last night we did some PvPing in the game, kind of, because my game kept crashing, and I was in a very fun state of mind, but it was a blast. So thank you to all those that put up with me and everyone else. We should definitely do it again, because I think I killed one person in that whole thing, and you have to kill 25 or something. So yeah, we should do that again at some point, and it'd be great. Outside of that, been doing the Cuphead. Love the Cuphead. Hate the Cuphead. Life is Cuphead. Little bit of Overwatch. Tink, I'm sorry. I'll play it with you sometime. And just planning some life things. I have some trips coming up this summer. Next week, or not next week, in 2 weeks, guys, I have something I can't talk about because of NDAs and all this crazy stuff. Only 2 people know. One, as soon as I found out about it, and then my mom, because I tell her everything. 2 weeks, you need to be here because I have some exciting news that's not related to CTR, but I'm super proud and I'm super happy and I super want to share it, but I can't because I signed stuff and I don't want to get sued. So, teaser, come back in 2 weeks. Finally, I'm on a new podcast and I haven't announced it here yet because I'm a terrible co-host. Plaggy, he's a new greeter in the guild. We are on a show, Load Screen Podcast. It's not live, it's pre-recorded, but it's a lot of fun. It's a little bit cussy. I went on a rant last week, a really bad rant about Raytheon, and I'm so mad. Still am. Still triggered by Raytheon. But it's kind of fun. So, not that you don't have enough podcasts to.
Oh,
to
Rathion?
Rathion. I say Raytheon.
Oh, okay.
That little turd bucket. But yeah. So,
Is Raytheon his undead cousin?
Rathion's a bad word. But yeah, it's kind of fun. So you have 60 million podcasts. Why not add another? And yeah, I think I've summed up everything. Planning stuff, doing things, lots of exciting stuff this summer coming. And yeah, chat room, get me your shout outs. It's been 2 weeks. There's been tons of stuff going on. I want to know what you want to shout out. So get it to me.
Also with us tonight, everyone, please welcome Sal Mysis, the Shaman.
Oh, hello there.
Hey.
Since I last talked to you, I created 2 new tunes, allied races. I have a Dark Iron Dwarf. I know it's been a while for that one, but and a Colteran. Ask me what my Dark Iron Dwarf is called.
What is your Dark Iron Dwarf called, Sal?
Salacious.
Nice.
I love it.
And
Right.
what flavor Dark Iron is it?
A shaman.
Okay.
I mean,
Just wanted to make sure.
yeah. I did do what every single other person did with Colteran and rolled a druid. So, but I just made them, get their names. I made sure that there's an eyeball missing from my Colteran female.
Ooh, nice.
Which I think is pretty cool. And I basically made them. They exist. They're level 20. and I logged out and did something else. So Exclavier, no, I'm not really alting, but I
You
wanted to
just did
do
'em.
it. I mean, I did the quest, so like I might as well. And I really like the Culturan quest. I want to go ahead and do my shout out at the beginning of the show and not at
What?
the end of the show. I'm going to do a shout out to the Grand Negus who's in the chat room right now. Hey, Negus. Good to see you. Very good to see you. We have a kicking chat room at the
We
moment.
do.
Yeah, dude, everybody's here.
It's looking pretty good. Wow, there's a lot of mods here. I don't understand.
That's your
It's like
fault.
Why
someone randomly modded everyone one night.
someone must have had too much to drink and did that.
I think that's a theme on our show
Okay.
lately.
So, yeah, sure. But Mr. Barf, how are you? What have you been up to?
I'm doing great, man. I banged out a lot of really solid spring cleaning this past weekend, man. It was really a productive weekend. On Saturday, I went out. I've got this big shed in my yard that, like, when you walk into it, you go, oh, okay, there's zero storage space in this. The fact of the matter is, there was a bunch of stuff in there that was like spread out in a really weird way, where a lot of space was taken up by not really all that much stuff. So I basically unpacked everything and then repacked it all in. I threw away a little bit of trash, but most of it was just repacking. I made a ton of extra space, which I know I'm going to need pretty soon here.
Why is that?
What's up?
Why is that? Why do you need extra space?
Silver's moving in like a month. So upstairs.
Hey!
Thank you.
Aw.
Upstairs, the front bedroom is becoming an office, but it had, you know how like when you are a child or a young adult and you have a mess and you decide, or an older adult or an elderly person, everyone does this, where you take all of your belongings and shove them desperately into the closet and then shut the door hoping that it'll stay closed. That's the upstairs front bedroom closet until what day is today? Monday? Until yesterday, where I emptied it all out. I threw away most of the stuff. Now that whole, and the furniture's out of that room. The room is almost completely empty because we're building an office. It's going to be super duper great. The other thing I was into this week was I've been leveling a goblin shaman because I have my Cultiran unlocked. I've got my Dark Irons unlocked. I've got all my allied races unlocked except for the Zandalari and the Moghar. And I was like, you know what? I can't be like not having all the races. So I'm leveling up my goblin. Toot, the enhancement shaman, is level 115. Miles is in the house. Everybody say hi to Miles. For the audio listeners, Miles is here. So that's going to be really good. I'm going to definitely make sure that I get on him and make sure that I get my final allied races. And the reason for that, I'm having this crisis of transmog. They announced that you're going to be able to hide your chest armor appearance. And that means one of my characters, at least, has to go bare-chested. But I don't have a character that has that like design in mind, right? So I'm thinking probably either like a Draenei or a Lightforged Draenei or a Zandalari, because they look so cool shirtless, or like a Moghar. They look really good shirtless too. Get that Garrosh look going. But I don't have access to all these characters, and I need to roll a new one. My problem is the only thing I ever roll are Paladins and Shamans. So am I just going to be replete with Paladins and Shamans, and that's all I'm going to play? It's possible.
Why not?
Yeah, I might do that. I might just have like 4 enhancement Shamans and 6 Paladins. It's just who I am going to be. That's my challenge. That's my challenge.
I don't understand this whole like cleaning out space thing.
Why?
Because I mean, look at my bookshelf behind me.
Mm-hmm. It's orderly.
Okay.
More books.
It is orderly. There's only books that have been given to me or that I need to be actually in book form.
I like that Zelda thing.
It's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle. I like it.
It's a jigsaw puzzle. And on the top shelf are games, like board games. But I don't collect, like, I didn't buy any of the tchotchkes, like this cup or whatever, because I don't. buy that kind of stuff. They given to me. I use them until they're broken, then I throw them away. And yeah, I don't have a closet full of stuff like that.
I'm trying my best to acquire that level of Spartanitude. The reality is, I do collect a bunch of nonsense. The audio listeners can't see it, obviously, but my gaming room is filled to the brim with plushies and boxes of Nintendo cereal and posters and all kinds of bongos and all kinds of nonsense.
10-year-old self's, best, wildest dreams.
Yeah, all the best things about being a nerd.
Yeah.
But that's not the problem in this scenario. The problem in this scenario is this house was originally my parents'. When my grandmother passed, they moved next door to her house, and a lot of their things are still in the shed and are still the house isn't just full of my things. And then in addition to the shed full of their stuff and their house that's full of their stuff, there was my grandparents who used to live in Florida, their house full of stuff that we eventually inherited. So we've got 3.5 houses worth of things spread across 2 houses.
That makes me anxious thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of difficult crawl spaces to crawl through, and it's a lot of boxes stacked on shelves in a shed, that type of thing. But the goal here is that there's going to be enough storage space to make sure that everything gets sort of packed where it belongs, and then I'll just spend the rest of my life becoming a Spartan and I'm hoping that by the time I die, I have 7 possessions, and everything else, I don't need anything else. I've got my handful of things. I can pack a bag and travel like a barbarian would do. It'll be perfect.
I mean, that's how I became a Spartan person.
Mm-hmm.
I moved countries, and everything I owned could fit in one backpack. And at the time, the backpack was full of 500 CDs, because that's how we carried music back then.
Don't even need that anymore, man. This is great.
Right, exactly. Got my phone.
Living in the future.
And yeah, and 2 suitcases full of clothes, and that was everything I owned. Now I have more stuff now, but the secret to having this kind of life, I'm gonna tell you the secret, Barf.
Share it. Throw stuff away.
Move at least once a year to a brand new location. Is to live in the city where you're renting and have to move once a year because you depend on roommates to live with, because you live in a city where even though you're making a great money, you can't afford your own place.
I don't know.
That is the secret to being Spartan.
No. No.
Anyway, this is a World of Warcraft podcast.
That's right. And because this is a World of Warcraft podcast that does not focus on nonsense and extra things, we're going to do a deep dive into patch 8.1.5, including how our guildies liked it. But first, let's find out more about our special guest, Mr. DravenDresden. Now, this is not your first time on the Converted, is that correct?
That would be accurate. Yeah, this is number 3, I think.
I think that sounds right.
Awesome.
But
well,
you were one of our guests back in the Belschnickel days for sure.
Belschnickel.
No, I was
No?
actually Cuddle.
Okay. Because I remember the
No.
first time you had no light on you, and these days you're a, you're a pro.
I wouldn't go that far. The first time, actually, no, it might have been with Bell, because Nav was there too, and I was on a laptop computer because that was
That's
all I had
right.
access to at the
The
moment.
laptop was in your lap, and you had blue face.
Just about, yeah. It was.
You had no light in the whole room, and it was just shining on your just the blue light shining in your face, and it was the worst.
I'm sorry. That was what I had access to, because
But-
things happened that day.
I'm picturing him in a dark room, but
I
it's
bet I
not
can
just that the
find it.
lighting is bad.
I'll find it.
He's
I don't-
also
I don't care.
hooded, and you can't see his eyes, and he looks like a sorcerer. but like an angry one. That's what I'm
Oh,
picturing.
he's trying to do
Am
it
I
right
right?
now. No, we can't see you at all now, Draven. Oh,
There we go.
that's scary.
That should be your Twitter avatar right there.
Well, for those who don't know, remind our guests who you are, where you're from, what you live for, all that fun stuff we'd like to get to. Yeah.
Who I am known on the internet as DravenDresden, or depending on which character I am playing in the CTR guild, one of those names. I tend not to say most of them on the internet, even though it's not hard to figure it out. Where am I from? Ohio. That is what I have the misfortune of being there. America's armpit. That is what I call it. That is what I stand by. That is what it is.
Ohio's not that bad. There's
Have
some
you-
good cities in Ohio.
Have you visited
I'm
the great
near
state of
none
New
of them.
Jersey?
Oh, Sal.
So, let me explain exactly how far in the middle of nowhere in Ohio I am. I have to drive 70 miles an hour on a highway for an hour to get to a movie theater.
Hey,
Going anywhere is a half-hour plus drive.
Oh my god, it takes me an hour to get to the movie theater, and it's 2.2 miles away
That's because you only have
in
one
Brooklyn.
hip.
No, I take the bus.
Well, see, that's different though. I'm literally driving 76 miles to go to a movie theater.
could you walk there faster, Sal?
Sal
This
couldn't.
is
I
not
could.
Not
right
with one
now.
hip.
No,
Give her a month.
I am having surgery. On my it's not on my hip, but on I have a what do I have? A herniated disc.
Oh my
I'm having a
goodness.
micro discectomy is what I'm having. So they're gonna whittle away at the middle
Yeah.
part in between the lower lumbar whatever, and yeah. So that's what I'm having.
They're getting
You're
rid of her
gonna feel
discs
so
and they're
much
giving her an
better.
MP3 player.
That was good, actually. That was good.
That was good.
Oh,
I
man.
appreciated that. So, yeah, April 17th. I won't be spending the night in the hospital. I will be. It's an outpatient situation. So hopefully I'll be able to walk around. Right now I'm looking for, Draven's old episode. And I'm looking at the YouTube channel for this. So I'm going through these all these old episodes, and I see these photos. I mean, like thumbnails of our videos. And first of all, damn, we're so much better now. But second,
You mean better
yeah.
looking? Like we're just all prettier as people.
Well, technology is different now. Let's just
is.
say that. Twitch was called something else.
Just on TV back then, I think, right?
Yep,
Yes,
Justin TV.
Justin TV, and it was, and this kind of stuff didn't really happen on it. But the other thing that I see is I was substantially thinner back then, and so I'm like, wow, getting my back fixed will allow me to take walks again. Look at that. And I could walk to the movie theater faster than I could take a bus to it. You are correct. So we've just been talking about me during Draven's interview.
Well, yeah, let's bring it back down real quick. We kind of hinted a little bit at this as Barf and Sal were talking about making some Kiltorans, and I can't say that word, and other things. You're not exactly a one class kind of guy, are ya?
Up until this current expansion, and I probably will continue the trend, I have at least one of every class at max level by the end of every expansion. With Legion, I had 3 max level paladins, 5 max level demon hunters, because they were the fastest, and I was farming for a particular mount. So I don't need to do that anymore. But at least one of every class. Was eventually going to work it into one of every class for both factions, and I was just like, that's just too many, even for me.
Yes, that's too many.
I mean, I know people who do that. I know someone who used to have, I think he had 9 Holy Paladins at one point, but they
Talking
were
about
all
Mega?
Alliance, and it was, yeah,
Who was that?
Mega Code.
Oh, Mega. Yes. Mega. No, he's been
SWTOR.
in the SWTOR. Yeah, but he's been playing a little bit of WoW lately, but yeah, he still tweets about games, but it ain't about WoW anymore.
And that's fine. I mean, if you find another game you'd rather play instead of WoW, then go ahead. WoW will still be here whenever your game dies, so it's fine.
What did we used to call you? We called you Murder Tramp back then, didn't we?
That probably was one of the names, yeah.
What team does that character play on?
Hydro Volunteer Fire Department, and they, despite my best efforts, refused to change their name to the Teldrassil Volunteer Fire Department.
That's
I
mean.
supported that change.
Yeah, so did I. I kept trying. You should have seen our Discord for like a week. It was nothing but memes. I had our old logo or our current logo, and then I had the burning of the tree, and then I had the Men in Black, old and busted, new hotness, and they were just like, no, we're not doing it. I'm like, oh.
All right, so you're with Hygel. Who else are you running with these days? Because I know you're kind of everywhere.
The other group that I run with most of the time, due to real life, I can't do it all the time, is the Rubber Chickens.
Yay!
I'm there on my technically my second Demon Hunter max level. So running with them, and then every now and then I'll go with the Horde side and I'll use my main Demon Hunter, which is now actually should be my second Demon Hunter because it's lower item level. Whole other story there. But I'll pug in with the group over on the Horde side every now and then, but that's like once every couple of months.
I can't imagine like being raid ready on 2 different factions. That's so much.
This expansion, honestly, especially for this tier, the catch-up mechanics are there are so many of them. I literally, my Demon Hunter that is in Rubber Chickens was raid ready in 3 days.
I believe it. My warrior has like a higher item level than I think he should, honestly, because all I ever did on him was like world quests and like a little bit of this and that's. It takes no time at all to get to LFR level, and then once you're at LFR level and you gear out through that, it takes a couple of runs, and then if your luck is good, then you're solid.
I got lucky on the timing, but the week my Demon Hunter on the Alliance side hit max level, Alliance had those PvP quests that gave the 400 item level gear.
Yeah, I got that on my
warrior. So I got really
lucky
lucky on timing.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like I dinged my Demon Hunter, say 3, 4, 5 a.m. Sunday morning, and then I was raid ready by Tuesday. It didn't take a whole lot, because once you get that high of item level, everything else, world quest and everything, the item level just jumps.
Yeah, everything chases you. Are you on any other teams, or is it just Chickens and Hygel right now? I thought you were on like 8 or 9.
No, that was a long time ago. That was back in Cata. I was running 5 different teams on 5 different teams.
You just don't have that kind of time in your life anymore? What'd you do? Get a job?
No. I got different jobs. I got just other real life things. I was just like, I just don't have the time to put into this anymore. Like, there's other things I'd like to do, like eat once a day.
Like eat.
Well, we all know I don't sleep, so I can't use that as an excuse.
Well, here's the deal. We brought you in for a pretty specific reason, right? We want to talk about 8.1.5, the new patch that just happened. So, the title of our show is what you should have already done in 8.1.5. Now, we're going to do this a little bit different. Usually we would ask you a bunch of questions, but you know what? Yeah. Let's let's you take the lead.
All right. Well, honestly, the first thing I did when the patch went live was because I had them both unlocked, I made a cool Terran Druid. I literally made him look as close to Meatloaf from Fight Club as I could, and I named him Rob Paulson because I wanted a Fight Club reference as a character name. And then
Right.
I made a Zandalari Troll, which I will eventually play, but it's also a Paladin, so that makes that real easy for me to play because I know how to do that. I couldn't think of a good name for that one though, so I just like, okay, gold, 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 and then someone was talking about alcohol, and I'm like, gold, gold, alcohol, gold, Goldschlager. Boom, good to go.
Really?
Yep, with the accents over the A and everything.
I'm amazed that that wasn't taken for like somebody's bank alt, you know, some goblin somewhere.
Yeah, I was just okay then. But yeah, so I did that day one for both of them. Like I normally on Tuesdays, even on patch days or anything, I'll log in and I'll take care of my my weekly, like the Mythic Plus cash chest, and turn in all the daily emissaries that I've saved up for the past couple days. No, this when 8.15 went live, I was like, yep, I'm gonna make these characters right now, and then I took care of everything else.
All right, so you got your
So
new
that was
characters
fun.
rolled. What else is going on this
Yeah.
patch? What's the big stuff?
Well, Brawlers Guild came back. Oh, no. Yeah, Brawlers Guild came back, and I haven't done that yet. I usually wait on Brawlers Guild just a little bit before I get going. But I'm looking forward to getting back in there because there's new stuff. There's a murder mysteries quest chain thing in there this time, and I'm like, ooh, that'll be fun. The new turtle quests, instead of saving turtles, we get to kill turtles. And then you get to do the calligraphy, which is trace this line after it disappears.
Yeah, the Mario Odyssey quest. I've done that one.
Yeah, and
I
then
haven't
you get
seen
to
the
play
Kill
as
the Turtles quest yet come up though.
I did my daily for it today. I believe it is in Zuldazar. Don't quote me on that. There was one today that was you were the crab.
Okay. But I mean, we barely touched on the Zandalari Trolls. Did anyone else go? Was anyone here able to roll a troll?
I don't have a max
No.
horde yet.
Okay. Yeah,
No.
like me too. But the Colterians, like all of us did that, right?
Yep.
Turarts?
Nope.
No. Oh, okay.
I have
The
them
one
unlocked.
shot
I
wonder.
haven't made one because I don't have any need for another alliance character at the moment, and if I did, I'm not sure what I would make. So I'm like, I just may as well not make one for right now. But I did unlock them, and holy smokes, that quest is great.
Yes. I wanted to play with the character screen. That was fun.
Yeah. Normally, my first alt would be probably my mage for enchanting, but with this expansion being how it's set up, I was like, no, my first alt's going to be the other faction because I want to see the whole story. So I went. Normally, I would go paladin or whatever my main is, which is usually paladin,
That makes
and
sense.
then normally mage. But this time I was like, horde, demon hunter, go. So I got those fairly quick. I've been exalted on all of them for a while. So getting everything unlocked like that, it was not issue. It just takes.
Well, let's talk about what I think is kind of a little controversial. This expansion, the portals.
Portal Gate.
Portal Gate 2019.
What are your thoughts?
Why? That's. I mean, I'm gonna. I promised Sal ahead of time I would be polite and be nice.
I just said don't curse. That's
Yeah.
all I said.
But why is my question? There was no need to some of these changes. Like the portal to Pandaria is now middle of nowhere Jade Forest.
It goes to Stardew Valley.
Put it in Shrine. Yeah, just put the portal back into Shrine, because that's where the portals always go anyway. And then with the quest for like the Legion artifacts, they said you'll see the portals then. I was like, oh, well then, that's where you port in when you're questing. Make the actual mage portal and the portal inside the portal rooms into Shrine, because that's where people want to go, because it's in the middle.
Am I right when I say that the reason that they gave for limiting how much portaling we can do and like sort of changing the locations and all that, I want to say that they said that the reason was they wanted the people out exploring the world a little bit more. Is that what they said?
Along those lines.
All right.
Kind of, yeah. They want the world to feel bigger.
That
so
was
they got rid of a bunch of portals.
That was basically the same reason they gave when they decided that, you know what, maybe we should do away with have group will travel. And I disagreed with it then too, because in my mind, have group will travel made it so that one person had to go to the dungeon. Without it, two people have to go to the dungeon, and everyone else sits around in town and waits for their summons. So it didn't actually make anybody do anything different. It just made one more person need to make the trip. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like, I understand the desire to make the world bigger absolutely makes sense to me. Make it feel grand the way it did like back in the day. Like, I understand that want. That makes sense. I'm not sure that we've achieved that with this. That is the criticism that I have levied.
I mean, as someone who just this week alone has gone to all of the Pandaria raids, all of the Cataclysm raids, it's not as big of a deal as people are making it out to be with the portal changes. It's just little annoyances that add up. So, you know, it just a few seconds here, a few seconds there. We are getting the Caverns of Time portal back next patch, I think. So that's nice at least. But it's just...
Okay, have you been into the portal room, though?
Yes, I've been in both Alliance and Horde portal rooms.
It's big, and there's lots of portals, and it's beautiful.
They're both gorgeous.
They're pretty. They don't have all the portals I want, and then some of the other places don't have some of the other portals. Like, luckily, like, Northrend, Dalaran, and then even Legion Dalaran has the portal to Stormwind. You get ported into the town, into the portal room, you're good to go, no problem. Pandaria, they have the one portal. It's just slight inconveniences overall, but I understand their thought process. I don't agree with their thought process, but I do understand it. It's not as terrible as some people are like, oh my god, it's the end of the world. No, it just is what it.
I'm more than okay with it. I wish I could go to Iron Forge easier, because I just don't want to take the train. But that's the only one that is not there that I really wanted, that I would often use, because I would go there for I would just go there for the
ambience,
the auction house. Yeah, I think it's a cool place. I've always been down with it. Yeah.
Yeah, as you've brought up a couple times and all that, I have a ton of alts, and I do a ton of traveling around. I farm all kinds of stuff, mounts, every now and then pets, but mostly mounts. I would be using the portal network going everywhere because it was the fastest, easiest way. And I was like, yay. Then they took some of the portals away. I was like, well, now this takes even longer. I don't need to do that one as often. I don't need to do this one as often. It killed drive for some of them. And then I went and took the new method of getting to places, and it's longer, sure, but it's not as terrible as I thought it would be overall.
The portal rooms were designed to be sort of expanding as the game progressed. They would have the ability to add more portals to more places. And the Ogremar portal room, for those who haven't been there, you walk through the front gates of Ogremar, and you know how it sort of twists a little bit before you enter the Valley of Strength? The portal room is in that tunnel, and it goes off like sort of toward into the mountain toward the dock area, like if you're looking at the big walls of Orgrimmar, it's in the mountains to the right. I really, really like the idea. I just thought of this as we were talking about it, that they expand that portal room by digging deeper into that mountain, and they accidentally Minecraft their way into the cave that's back there that, like, level 4s used to have to go into. Thrall was like, you have to go in and kill the demons that are in the mountains. You had to go out the front and go down that path, and there was a cave back there. I really want there to be, like, a hole in the floor that if you fall down in there, you get attacked by a bunch of, like, level 4 imps. I really want for that to happen because the Horde deserves a minor inconvenience because I have decreed it. And that's the only reason I can think of off the top of my head to make this argument, but I think it would be funny to have that happen.
I approve of this. As someone who has characters on both sides, I approve of this.
All of that to say, it didn't occur to me until I think actually Darkmoon Herald was talking about it this week, that I was like, whatever, man, less portals, it doesn't bother me. I don't run around the whole world doing transmog runs and mount runs and pet runs, but if you're actually like really exploring literally the whole world every week, yeah, that it does add a bunch of time. It didn't occur to me to consider it that way, but now I'm very sympathetic to people who are like, well, I guess I just don't get to go to the so-and-so dungeon this week because I don't have time in my life to make that travel. Like, I have work in an hour. I have to cut some of my track out today.
Yeah, now imagine doing that on, like in my case, 10, 15, 19 characters.
Yeah, every time you do it on a
That's
new character, it
lot of added
compounds that
time.
extra time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that was one of the reasons why I got really upset. And not to the point where I was going on the forums like, this game is broken, unsub. You know, I'm not doing that.
Dude.
I expressed my displeasure and then moved on.
People have been screaming unsub at the rooftops for the last 14 years, 15 years. The game's still going fine. So.
How long has the game been going? Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't log into AQ event unsub.
Okay, well let's move on to something. I don't think that we've seen this yet. Tell me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? I don't think. Okay, Darkmoon Fair hasn't been out since the patch, right?
No, it has not.
Not yet. You've got about just about 2 weeks.
So I'm ready to ride that roller coaster.
Yes.
I'm very happy they made that change.
I'm gonna ride it just because I want to see what they did with it, but it's the same buff as the carousel. So
They get the Wii buff.
But it's a roller coaster.
I mean, like I said, I'm gonna ride it just because it's the roller coaster. I want to see what they did, but after that, I'm probably gonna just go back to the carousel because it's easier to leave a carousel than it is to leave a roller coaster while it's moving. I assume it'll be the same in game, like you can't get off until it comes back around.
The two characters I ever see you on could easily jump out of a moving roller coaster without trouble.
Okay, well, yeah, my paladins, demon hunters, mages, priests, hunter, warrior.
They'd be fine.
Just about everyone could, but it's you know, the headspace thing of it.
So I'm picturing like a paladin bubble and you land easily, or like the demon wings. But like you said, warrior, and I'm like, how does a warrior get out of a Oh, I know how they do it. They just reach out and grab a piece of the roller coaster as they go by it, and it just rips them out of their cart, and they're like, all right, cool, I did it. Like that's perfect. I love it. I have not researched the roller coaster whatsoever. And in my mind, it's one of two things. It's either like an old-style wooden roller coaster, and maybe it shakes and rattles a little bit, or, and I really hope it's this one, it's that crabby, sort of square-shaped mouse and cheese, like hard right and left turns roller coaster that nobody rides because everybody hates. It has that one little... Yeah, I hope it's that one.
I am personally hoping for it to automatically go into first-person view, and it literally, like up and down and around, and you know, whether there's any cool events like a corkscrew or a loop or anything. Yeah, or it could be like a reverse where it's showing your character with their hands up. Yeah. Grab the selfie stick on the roller coaster.
Oh, the thing is, there's reasons again to do the quests, do the stuff in the Darkmoon Fair because I got more pets.
Woot!
And
Yes, I'm
I'm
gonna get some more
so far
balloon
behind
pets.
on Dark Moon stuff. It's not even funny.
I am shocked and really happy that they have continued to keep Darkmoon Fair totally relevant.
I
Like
mean,
it's
it
still.
makes sense for this expansion, even though there's no old gods in this expansion.
Why do you think there's old gods in Darkmoon Fair? What are you trying to say?
Oh, I'm just saying.
Okay, so we're gonna get like new balloons. One of them is a dark moon balloon made to look like a horse. One's a murloc, and one is a wolf. Okay, like Alliance, Horde, and a murloc. I get it. But I'm gonna get that murloc balloon for sure. I'm digging it. Listen. Darkmoon Fair is a great way to level your professions. It's a great way to level your tunes. And it's weird. It's creepy. It's fun. Do y'all remember Darkmoon Fair before this iteration of it?
When it
Yeah,
was like
when
in
it was at
Goldshire.
Thunderbluff and Goldshire and Shatrath.
Yeah. I remember going there and going, I don't get this at all. I don't understand.
You had to turn in
And
things, I think. Like,
what?
I can't remember.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
you spent like the
but-
whole month gathering stuff, and then when the Darkmoon Fair would roll into
Farming,
town, you
yep.
had to turn it in. Yeah.
Yeah, and I never understood it. And I went there a few times and said, meh.
Now they have their own whole island that doesn't appear on the world map anywhere.
Where is that island?
It's almost like they're hiding it from us because of their patron sponsor.
You wouldn't think that's old gods, would you?
I kind of thought
Draven?
it was out near Gilneas and Tolbarad. It's just there.
There's no
Stuff's there.
island out there.
There's plenty of
As
islands
someone
out
who
there.
has not big enough for that. No.
Dude, we drove past Coltiris like 80 times on our way to the Broken Isles, and no one cared. It was always there.
Yeah, but they're on the map now. This has been in the game for how many expansions? It's not on the map. You can't even zoom out to the world map by right-clicking it. It doesn't do it. It just stays there like, nope, you're stuck here.
Maybe it's a different game.
Listen,
World of Diablo.
I'll take
Yeah,
it.
like
I'm gonna say something
it's in the
controversial right now.
Nexus.
Oh, go for it, Sal. Do it.
I liked Tolbarad.
Yeah.
There, I said it.
That's
I liked
controversial.
the PvP portion of it. I liked the daily quests. I
Yeah.
liked the grind to get that awesome mount. I got 2 of the mounts. I still use I keep my Tolbarad tabard in my bag.
People didn't
So-
like Tolbarad?
Yeah,
I feel like there were a
the
lot of people who
PvP.
saw it as being like a worse Wintergrasp, and then immediately were like,
Right.
"Nope, I'm done." And I
I
mean,
loved
I
it.
liked Wintergrasp a lot, but I don't know that that's
I'll go
fair.
get spiders sometimes just for the heck of it still.
I regularly PvP'd back then.
Oh, I love PvP.
You know, in Tolbarad, and I always had a lot of fun. Speaking of fun stuff, I don't know if this is really part of the patch, but it did happen recently. The toys. I totally went and bought that transmog thingy
Did you?
off the store. Yeah, that was the fastest $10 I've ever spent.
I don't have it yet. It is on my list of things to get eventually, but I just don't have the $10 at the moment.
Well, it is so worth it. You click on it, and it pops up in the theater, an ethereal, and then anyone in your group can do it. So you can put it in your raid, and you can everyone in your raid can make themselves into a boss.
So I sent them a tweet after Saturday night. I talked about it on my show, and I wanted to know if there were any restrictions on which bosses were eligible. Because you guys have been in raid with me. You know what I do pre-raid and usually during raid.
Yes.
I will use the Reiko drinking horn to make it makes you bigger. I will use some other toy to make myself bigger, and then I'll get on a big obnoxious mount and I'll take up everyone's entire screen. What would happen if I could turn into Ragnaros?
I'm guessing
Only
probably
Draven.
Swagneros is not a member of the Transmog Club.
I mean, from what it says any dungeon or raid boss. I didn't see any restrictions, so he might be a really rare one, but anyway, I sent him a tweet. I'm like, is there any like bosses not on the list? I haven't heard back yet. So, Warcraft people, I know you listen. Why don't you should answer that tweet, or you like put out a, these bosses are not possible kind of. Alec here's another one, the one who does take up the entire screen.
Maybe it's
Okay.
baby Ragnaros.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, like, we do have like a HOTS version of Ragnaros that would totally work and be fine. Just not on a mount. But so the other thing they had were the fireworks for PvP. I'll be surprised if I ever see one ever.
I have the free ones in my toy box already. You can use them like once every 10, 15 minutes, something like that, and you pop them, boom, logo in fireworks.
Right. I mean, they're cool fireworks, but you have to click on them over the body of someone you've just killed in PvP before they release.
That's what they get.
Yeah. That's too much work.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what you do. You macro that into every single one of your buttons.
Oh my god.
That way it's guaranteed to work as long as you're still hitting buttons before they release.
Yo, speaking of dying to PvP, I was on my
Yes.
goblin today, and I died because an orc warrior attacked me. And I was incredibly confused by that. And then I realized it wasn't an orc warrior. Kultiran humans are just that big. This guy was a male Kultiran, and he came running down on me. He had a good 5 levels on me, so he just crushed me with his big sword and wandered away chuckling. But I was like, where did this orc come from? I'm a horde member today. What's going on here? Oh, they're huge. That's the reason. I mistook him for an orc. That happened today.
Oh, look at that.
You can't always judge what you see as what you get in the game, though. There's another toy, Coin of Many Faces.
Yeah, I have that, but
yeah,
I assumed that was what it was, and I was like, what costume is he wearing? He's not wearing a costume. He's just wearing armor. He's just a Kultiran. Humans are just that beefy. Massive.
Yeah,
nerds.
they're big. But at least they can still walk through doors, unlike female Tauren back in Classic.
Yeah, they can walk through doors these days. So another thing that got updated were holidays. Okay, we know specifically Children's Day,
Yes.
which
Everybody's
not
favorite
my
meta
favorite holiday.
Everyone's favorite PvP holiday.
Everyone's
It's
favorite
more
PvP
fun.
holiday. So the Kultirans and the Zandalari will have orphans and their own orphan quests. So that's actually likely more content. That's content. So that's pretty cool. I think it's cool.
I really liked all the
and-
parts of Children's Week except for the PvP thing. I liked wandering around with the kid and showing him like all the cool places and watching him be like, this is really rad. I love this place. Dude, it's a desert with bones in it. Yeah, but I've never been to the desert. Like, that's just cool. I like
There's some
Basically
ice
being real
cream.
life.
I don't know. I thought that was cool. And to have more of that, I'm into it. I'll play that.
Yeah, I haven't done Children's Week in a while because I've had that achievement. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I have all the pets.
Did all that stuff and never looked back on the holidays ever.
Well,
But there's all these pets. Go ahead, Turarts.
I was gonna say, speaking of pets, they're adding more with that.
Yes.
Gotta go do that again.
Some more Children's Day pets. Like, goodness gracious. Apparently there's like other updates that I don't totally know about, but like they're giving the holidays some love, which I am down with.
Speaking
Go ahead.
speaking of pets, we're getting another raiding with leeches, which I'm excited about. That's the sole reason I still go do those old raids.
And tell us about that, Turarts.
It is raiding with leeches 6 Pandaria, so get your butts back in Panda Land and start running some stuff. Makes it more exciting, more fun, and figure out how to run some of those bosses solo.
And how do we get there, Draven?
You're an engineer. You
Painfully.
just use your portal.
It's the the engineer portal. That's great. Or you can take the portal to Stardew Valley, right, Sal?
What are you talking about, engineer portal?
We have a wormhole generator, and the Pandaria one's every 15 minutes. It takes you to a random place in Panda Land, but it's could work in your favor and drop you in Shrine where you should be.
Can only engineers use it?
Yep, only engineers.
Ah.
Look at my class being useful.
I miss the days where it would randomly. I think there was a Wrath one that would randomly put you in the air.
It does.
wasn't
It does.
random.
The first time, it was. That's where it in. What's the first zone that you have?
Borean Tundra.
Yep, Borean Tundra. It drops you right over a lake, and the first time you do it, you have no idea what's going on, and you're falling. You're like, well, I don't have anything to save me.
Dude, it's
But then
great.
you
If
fall
you're
in the lake, so it's fine.
you come out the other side of that portal and you immediately hit your glider and you just cruise straight to the Nexus. It's awesome. You know, for all the times you're going to go run Oculus.
I do that all
Everyone's
the time.
favorite.
I
Five
never
man.
had an issue with that dungeon. Everyone is like, "Oh my god, it was terrible." I'm like, "It was fine."
The dungeon's
I
fine.
learned how to tank as a holy pal.
The dungeon's fine. It's the party that's the problem. And I think this is true of most parties.
Yeah.
If you know your way around that dungeon and the people are willing to follow you and
It's
they're
fine.
like conscious enough to follow you in a three-dimensional space because you have to go up a little bit and down sometimes, and this with the dragon riding, you're good. It's super easy. You go to the place, you go up and to the left, and then you go up again. It's easy. But everyone always gets lost. That's the struggle.
Struggle's not the dungeon; it's getting to the dungeon.
It's just the one above Nexus. Not that bad.
All right. Well, we touched base on Brawlers Guild. We touched base on some new quests. There's some new stuff going on, but they got some armor sets happening too. Pretty exciting.
Trial of
Not for
Style.
me. Some
Yeah,
people
we
love
just-
that.
Yeah, I did that day it came out. It took me all of 8 trials to get all 4 armor sets because I'd win on one. My favorite one was when I took my Demon Hunter in for the leather set, and I saw, here's the theme, summer fun. And I look at my Demon Hunter who famously wears almost nothing. I'm like, I'm good.
I did Trial of Style for the first time in my life yesterday.
Did you love it?
No.
It's more fun when you go in with a full group of people.
And then cheat?
Like go in with a group of friends. No, don't cheat. Be honest with it. But it's more fun. Like if you're in Discord voice or whatever, and you all go in and be like, guys, I'm gonna totally blow you away with this. And like things like make me laugh as a theme, and I will literally go through all of my Outland leveling gear, and I'll just be like, okay, red hat, orange chest, yellow gloves, green pants, purple boots. You know, the walking rainbow meme.
Blue horseshoes and red balloons.
Yeah, exactly. And you can, there's so many things. Like, I mean, I have so much transmog on my characters, it's not even funny. It's actually kind of sad, but that's another thing. But yeah, go in with friends, Sal. Next time it comes around.
Did you win?
Okay.
My mage won one, yeah.
How about you, Sal? Did you win?
I got second place on the first one.
Nice.
But it was for the Alliance theme, and that was like literally what I was already wearing. Like an Alliance themed transmog. So honestly, I should have won because I had the BlizzCon back. That looks so good. And the second one, I'm like, okay, here's what I don't like about it. It's basically silent in this room. You go in and you gotta like read all the text on the screen. Like there needs to be some VO in here. Like it's oddly, the silence is really weird to me. It's a little claustrophobic in there. Like I was uncomfortable in the Trial of Style. That was my problem. Yeah. I can't explain it. It was just like quiet, and like I'm not used to having to like read this little, like I should make it bigger before I go in there because I have to like read all the stuff and like, oh, what's going on? But yeah, So I just thought it was weird. I probably won't do it again.
It was the silence
Oh.
that was weird, and not the act of getting changed in front of a room full of strangers so that you could present your outfit.
Well, you're all dressed like a handmaiden when you get in there.
I'm just saying
So-
the RP reality of the room is. Anyway,
Barf, have you been there?
yeah, I've been there.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, speaking of RP, professions are now relevant. Maybe
I haven't dug into this. What's the deal?
I haven't done any of it yet.
They give us epic level profession quests, which I've got the blacksmithing hammer, which I can repair one item for free every hour, and occasionally possibly make it indestructible. So I've been using it on my weapon because that seemed like the most logical place to use it. It hasn't gone indestructible. I've got jewel crafting. I can get gems out in the middle of nowhere just because I'm there and I have the thing. Alchemy is the only one that's actually useful because you can super proc cauldrons. I saw somebody proc 24.
Really?
Money, money, money.
I don't
Okay,
know
we
if that
can't really
was a
sell
bug.
cauldrons, but
Yeah, I don't know if that was a bug
can
or
save
if they
money
fixed
on-
it, but I saw 24 proc.
You can save money on buying materials, though. That's for dang
Yeah.
sure.
that's cool. So I like picked up the quest and didn't do it yet, but I'm like, okay, cool. And not that let's be real. I'm not making cauldrons. So
Yeah, the one thing you have to be max level in order to do these. So there is that, but
in your professions, yeah.
in the profession, max level for the current expansion because they split everything up the way they did. But other than that, you know, every crafting profession has something, but for right now, honestly, alchemy is the one to get, and the rest of them are just kind of
I have not even.
Anyone PvP?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone seen the new remastered
We were doing
PvP
that last night.
Battlegrounds?
Yeah, super
Tell
good.
me.
They just did a Routhy
tell
Basin.
me.
They just did a Routhy
Yeah.
Basin. But, like, it was like I woke up in Cataclysm again. Remember when they changed and made everything look nicer?
Yes.
It was like that. I'm used to seeing the ground being low res and, like, the grass is, like, little jaggedy triangles and everything looks old and busted. No. This is the new hotness. You'll see it immediately as soon as you step in, and you're like, okay, they have to do this with every place I've ever been now. It's really, really pretty. It's the exact same battleground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they left all the rocks where they were and all that nonsense. I don't think there's any, like, weird... To my knowledge, I don't think they made it any, like, weird clipping or anything like that. But, oh, dude, it's so shiny and pretty. And they put in this weird... Like, there's a brawl right now where it's Arathi Basin versus AI. And the AI fight. They're there to win. I haven't lost to them
Yes.
yet. I've done it 4 times, and I've the 3 of them we cheated for the first 3 of them because we had, like, Intense was sort of calling the shots. It was a 15-person PvP. 14 of us were in Chicken's Discord. Like, it was unfair.
Yep.
So we kind of crushed it there, and then I did a pug, and that one won, but it was thinner. The margin was thinner. But man, it's great. It's super good.
yeah. The first thing I noticed outside of, whoa, this looks new.
Mhm.
I turned my camera to the left and I saw actual Arathi, like what the zone looks like. Like I saw like the little Stonehenge looking rocks out there, and I was like, oh wow. So I looked the other way and there was stuff over there. I was like, oh wow, like there's actual sides now instead of it's just rocks and big trees and stuff like that. That was entertaining, but yeah, I was there with you the first 3, Paladin on 1, and then Demon Hunter on the second 2 because I felt like it.